Am I 3 or 4, Joe?
You're 4.
Okay. Test real fast. Testing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2. Testing. Okay.
Please note that any unruly behavior will not be tolerated. Please do not throw items on the pitch. The use of noisemakers is not permitted at any time during the match. Possession of alcohol and tobacco are also prohibited. Spectators are not allowed on the pitch at any time. We ask that you please obey these regulations, and failure to do so may result in removal of the complex. Thanks for your cooperation. The national anthem is before you. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and remove your caps. Join the players and coaches for the playing of the national anthem.
This is the United States Military Academy. This is Night Vision on the Army West Point Athletics YouTube channel. Today, Anderson Rugby Complex, the Army men's rugby team, faces Mary Washington. High noon, everybody. I'm Nikolai Busko, and it is wonderful to be back with you today. Both teams coming to this game ranked. Army sits 7th at D1A table, and Mary Washington arrives here 14th. If Mark Cuban made a friendly wager over last week's game here, then he's fortunate he didn't lose whatever stake he has left to the Mavericks. Very few higher profile supporters of Indiana rugby than that guy, but Army came prepared to play in a big way. The Black Knights took care of the Hoosiers 54-7. A penalty try put Army in front in the 3rd minute, and both Gabe Savage and Jacob Bonnerini scored in the next 8 minutes to build a 19-0 lead. Howard Heller made a penalty kick a short time later to bring the margin to 22, and then Dylan Liskey broke through to make it 29-0. In the 27th minute, Nate Gould broke free and found TJ Rotella for a try. In the 35th minute, second verse, same as the first. Gould to Rotello. Army led 41-0 at the half. Heller added another penalty kick early in the second half to bring that margin to 44. IU finally scored the 45th to make it 44-7. Rotello completed a hat trick in the 65th, and in the final minute, Joey Knight rounded out the score with a try of his own. Mary Washington took care of business last week against Mount St. Mary's, 40-18. The game started off slow as UMW missed many opportunities to score. Maxie St. Ledger came off the injury list to play his first game for UMW, and he produced some breaks, but the team couldn't capitalize on them. A completely different story the second half for the Eagles. Harvey Payne came alive in the backfield to lead the team to victory. Kickoff temperature here at West Point is 76 degrees. No rain in the forecast. And this will be kicked out of bounds immediately. Army in the familiar black. UMW in the white. And I'll bring it back to midfield. Army coach Matt Sherman says his team showed many strengths last week as to beat Indiana convincingly. But he also says he saw several areas for growth, and the team has spent the week in practice targeting those. Sherman says his team needs to play its best against a very talented Mary Washington team. In his words, our focus remains on achieving our new best performance. So after the kickoff went straight out of bounds, UMW going to scrum at midfield. That bunch down there is giving the Glee Club a run for its money. And so the Eagles will try to come upstream. Deferred now for Shefferman, who's approaching the 22. Barnfield Lee continues to drive forward. Trying to pull him back down is Liskey. Hook back now is UMW. Give it to Sidorowicz. Shift it back again as the Eagles passing one on the early go, but this one goes astray. It's loose, and we've got a whistle. Looks like it's going to stay with UMW, so maybe something for Army straight off sides. Black Knights last year officially ended with a 5-6-1 record. They only went 2-2-1 at home. The season ended with a 24-17 loss at Life. In the first round of the D1A National Playoffs, Army lost 4 games last year by 6 points or less. So they were in almost every game. Not much history between the teams. Army's won both meets, including the one back in March on the road, 34-17. UMW last season officially finished 9-8. But it went 4-5 in all matches, not at home. Its season ended the first round of the D1A National Playoffs with a 41-7 loss at Navy. Army, West Point's top priority is to create leaders prepared to fight with our nation's battles. As the world's preeminent leadership institution, the Academy focuses on producing people who trust, accountability, passion, integrity, and empathy. To learn more, visit GoArmyWestPoint.com. They'll try this again as UMW look at a score first. As the referee is instructing the front rows on how to line up. The beautiful thing about rugby is both front rows have to work together before they can work against each other. Waddington put it in. Wants it back. And he'll sling it out now for Duncan. Referee says play on Army, makes the steal. And he'll kick it down. Army comes up big initially. Strange bounce, but it's finally picked back up by Peters for UMW. Brought back on the near side. And that's when we put it away as UMW. We'll see if Army can come all the way back. Ping pong right now. As the Eagles will get control once again. Army trying to stand strong, but UMW continuing to make good on their possession. Moskrop gets the ball here. Shifted again. Thought it went off of a hand, but play on, the referee says. As trying to go forward is Jan Aubert for UMW. It comes to Plum. Stood up near the 10, the 22, pardon me. And this one is dropped by Duncan. They'll call a knock on as Duncan tried to hide it by kicking it, but could not. And so Army will get a scrum here. So Army gets a scrum here. We'll see how well they do here. You can use X to keep up with the latest news information about the Army West Point men's rugby team. The handle is ArmyWP_MRugby. Again, ArmyWP_MRugby on X. The Glee Club down there is in tune. As Army will be quick off here. A good tackle there by Albert. Slow and steady for Army. And this will be kicked downfield. Back to get it is White. In the in-goal area, and now the ball makes up its mind, wants to stay out. White will get rid of it. Having to gauge it in the sun and doing well is Gould. Nate Gould running upstream. Tries to split defenders. He's taken down just shy of the 22. As Army will try to go to work here, going from right to left. Ball was loose, kicked a little bit, and so Army, wait a second, we've got a whistle. Looks like a knock-on. So play comes to a halt, 7 minutes in, no points yet. Single game tickets remain available for almost every Army West Point football game left on the schedule. Visit GoArmyWestPoint.com and click on the button near the top of the homepage to make purchases. Can their voices get any deeper? Waddington gets ready to put the coin into the slot to activate Mechanical Bull. Ahead of the 22, we've got a whistle. And it looks like UMW's whistle for not releasing. Once you are tackled and go to the ground, that's it. You're not supposed to stop, drop, and roll. We'll see if Army has an option to kick here, and here comes the tee. The Black Knights look at the first points of the game. So we're approximately 23 meters away, maybe 24, so it's under 30 yards. This is definitely different from kicking an American football. Different type of surface, different type of shape. the post. Somehow, some way, it got in. Well, it must be Howie Heller's lucky day. Army in front 3-0. Beautiful sound of it going in. The Army A Club sports and promotes the mission of both the U.S. Military Academy and the Army West Point Athletics. It seeks to generate financial support and provide an extraordinary athletic experience that develops leaders of character committed to duty, honor, country. To donate to the Army A Club, head to GoArmyWestPoint.com and scroll down to the button at the bottom of the homepage. So Heller has some luck at the end there. He gets Army on the board on the first opportunity after UMW had some good possession to start. Kicked nice and high again as UMW will get rid of it once more. Waddington downfield again. And a smart play made to get it with your feet. A wounded duck it comes. Waddington let it go for one of his teammates. It comes now from Oskrup. Approaching midfield, Army. Not looking to produce any holes. Try to stay tight as they crowd around. It's loose. We've got a whistle. And a quick restart for the Eagles as Waddington runs upfield. Gets around one tackle. Trying to get around a second, and he's inside the 22. Ball is dropped, kicked ahead, and the referee says, nope, you can't sneak that when you tried it earlier. So UMW has had good possession, but a couple of ball handling errors have helped bail out Army in the early stretches here. I don't know if people saw this yesterday, but think back to last July when we had all that horrible rain and some of the rugby players on this team had to help protect this field. The turf field is still a work in progress. But yesterday, the governor announced that Route 218, just outside of West Point, had reopened to traffic following the floods. Again, this was in July of last year. Thanks to an extensive reconstruction undertaken by the DOT, this 102-year-old roadway, also known as Storm King Highway, is once again allowing people to get to and from the academy and to other places like Storm King. So progress being made around here, but again, the turf field is a bit of a work in progress. Part of it is still available to help warm up, but they can't play a game on it yet. Referee says play on. Army looking to get possession. Just trying to get some momentum here offensively. But UMW has come hungry. They've tackled well in the early going when Army has had the ball. Savage goes down. And we've got a whistle. And not releasing the tackler. So Army catches a break. Again, this is not gridiron football. There's no play clock. There's no fourth down. Possession is 9/10 of the law usually, especially in this sport. So Heller will look to kick this one into touch, and Army will go back to work, presumably on a line out. No, he's going to keep it in play, pardon me. White swings it back out. Not sure if that was the intent here. This is kicked high in the air. It's a jump ball. No fair catch. Because it was sent backwards, no knock on. And Army will just kick it back again. They want a knock on there. It's dropped once more. Play on as White gets rid of it once more. This ball is being very difficult right now for both teams. As Army will try to go back to work once more. Over to 22. Right now, they've got to be patient, Army. UMW in good formation defensively. Army just trying to be patient. It's a hole there. And we've got a whistle. Some of them have gone to the ground for UMW. And it looks like somebody for the Eagles is shaken up. Time off, the referee says. 16th minute. Heller's foot and a friendly goalpost of Army in front 3-0. You can now buy tickets to the Army-Navy Cup presented by Leidos. The men's soccer teams from West Point and Annapolis will descend on Subaru Park near Philadelphia on October 11th at 7 o'clock. To buy tickets, head to GarbyWestPoint.com and follow the instructions after clicking on the release on the homepage. Home ground of the Philadelphia Union. Great relationship that it has with both programs to make sure that game is one of the highlights of the intercollegiate soccer calendar. That game never disappoints, no matter who wins or if there's a draw. We'll see what Army wants to do next here. They have not had the ball as much as UMW, and I think right now possession might be a better idea just to give themselves a break defensively. Well, it doesn't look like Heller's going to have a shot at goal here. Looks like he's going to kick it to the touch and see if they can get a line out right near that try line, near that in-goal area. He'll get rid of it. And somebody's got to chase that ball. They're about 10 meters away. It's bobbled, but it's worked back. Because it wasn't forward, it's not a knock on. That might be. Referee says play on, though. So they're back to the 22, but again, possession for Army here in the early going. After UMW had a chance down the other way and just could not put a couple of passes together at the very, very end. And a whistle. It looked like somebody went to ground again for UMW. We'll see if the T comes out here. It will. And I think for Heller, this should be an easier one for the standpoint he's right square in the middle. But sometimes those goalposts, they can play tricks on you, especially in the rare penalty shootout that Rugby will have in a playoff game after extra time. About 20 meters away, should be a straight shot. Okay, you know, it's a bit of a different angle from what you see in American football. Doesn't need the goalpost help that time. Heller is 2 for 2. 17th minute. Army leads 6-0. Keep in mind that Army West Point athletes are not just cadet athletes, but also Warrior Scholars. Army represents Warrior and West Point represents Scholar. To separate them would take away the purpose of the U.S. Military Academy. They come together as one to outsmart the enemy. Behind me is an exhibit that says Army West Point Men's Rugby Jersey Legacy Endowment. During halftime today, there's going to be a ceremony down on the field as this one goes through some hands, and that will be a knock-on, so UMW will get it back. There's going to be a ceremony during halftime. We'll leave the crowd mic on so you can see it. Dedication of jersey number 8 to Jim Brierly, class of 1967, killed in action December 1st, 1968 in Vietnam. So that's what's going to take place at halftime today, and that's why I've seen a lot of former players come come by today for this match. The tree finally lets go of that ball, so it'll be a line out coming up for UMW. We will see how well Army defends this. The Eagles have had some chances. They've had possession down inside the 22, but haven't scored yet. This one goes astray, but it bounces right back as Duncan picks it up. Shift it back again. Army trying to push back. Quickly it goes. Plum trying to work his way through inside the 5. Not yet, but they're close. They will drive again. No signal yet. Now there is. UMW is in. It might have been Cameron McNeil who got credit for the try there. And so an easy conversion. If you're new to the sport, you can attempt the kick from a straight line for where the ball was dotted down. Shefferman looking to give the Eagles the lead. That one's through. Halfway through the first half, the Eagles lead Army by a score of 7-6. The Army West Point men's rugby team uses Instagram. Check it out at ArmyWP_rugby to find photos and videos you won't find anywhere. That's ArmyWP_rugby on Instagram. Corner is targeted again. This time it stays in play. Partially blocked, not a charge down, but Army able to get something done and limit the strength of the kick. Bottarini will take it from Manning, and he's taken down shoestring style by Duncan. As UMW has some new energy following the try, but we've got a whistle. And this one's going back to Army. Somebody might have reached in there for the Eagles. Go Black. The Daves approve of the kick there, so Army will get a line out in good position here. Move back throws Army, continues to push again. They continue moving. And we've got a whistle. This one's going against UMW. Line up for Army at the 5. Nice catch is made. Can they do something with it? These chances don't come up very often. Work back quickly. Blinking right, turning left. Right now, for your Army, just protect the ball and take your time getting in. No signal yet, though. One more. One more. As Army regains the lead. have they? I confess I did not see a try signal, but I also did not necessarily see held up. And it looks like held up is the call at the try line. Army does not score. The Eagles still in front. So a huge break for Mary Washington. We are very grateful the glass here at Anderson Rugby Complex is double paned and bulletproof. Crowd getting noisy down there as the cadets seeing if they can throw UMW off of this lineout, but it's executed well. As trying to move forward is Barnfield Lee. Got it past the 10, approaching midfield. Waddington, hook back again. This one is kicked now by Waddington. Army will get it back. Getting back on side, so we can put it back further. And we're back to playing ping pong. But this one is put nice and high. Army looking for it. They'll make the catch at the 10 and try to go forward. Is this a knock-on? Yes, it is. And so UMW will get it back. So a scrum coming up for the Eagles, who are in front 7-6. Again, Army ranked 7th in the latest poll, UMW 14th. So this would be a mild upset if that is the final score, although I think we've got a long, long ways to go here. Waddington puts it in, wants it back. Doesn't get it back, now he does. Quickly back on the near side. It comes to Lindy. Lindy is hustled down by Gould. Good inside pass here for Plum from Waddington. And out comes back for Waddington. Waddington running down. Doesn't score yet. We've got a whistle. And this one's going against UMW for not releasing. Massive break. So each team has had a chance to score, and something has gone wrong at the very end. It's still early in the season. Incoming! Yes, we appreciate the close quarters here at Anderson Rugby Complex. It's one of the reasons why I always enjoy coming here, even when it's raining. Lineouts taken down quickly by Duffy. Ball forms as Army's just trying to push forward. Army wants a call that somebody came in from the side from UNW, and we've got a whistle. Looks like there might be a knock-on anyway. Yeah, if you do the rugby, there's a front door and there's a back door, and that's it. There is no side door in rugby. There might be a doggy door, but that's it. So an Army scrum, 13 minutes left opening half. UMW in front of Army, 7-6. 2 penalty kicks by Heller, and then a try from Gua McNeil, the conversion by Shefferman. Manning will restart. Watching carefully is Waddington. Everybody looking to move quickly. And we've got a whistle. And it looks like the foot might have come up as Bardak gets the explanation from the referee. Bardak will go back to his position, and so UMW will get it back here. They've done everything they've needed to do so far. Shift it back again, Duncan. This one is kicked. Army will find it. Catch is made, and we've got a whistle. Did he call for a mark? I don't think he did. And we've got another whistle here. Sales continue for single game tickets for Aubrey West Point hockey. If you want to bring a youth team, then please stand by for information on game day experience options in the weeks ahead. For season tickets and other purchases, visit GoAubreyWestPoint.com or call 1-877-TIX-ARMY. White will regather. Chips it ahead. UMW would have been offside. And Army will get rid of it. It'll roll all the way out, as that was a bit too strong.
Okay. Is it archived? I am recording. Okay.
Let's keep going.
So to bring it back to midfield.
We had it at the beginning.
As the referee now directs traffic. Like being the chaperone at a high school dance. The guys here, the gals there. Just over the midfield line. It'll be a scrum for UMW. Waddington will put it back in. Impressed what the Eagles have shown, especially with the physicality. They've had possession. They've not been afraid to throw their weight around. Shift it back to Waddington. Kicks it on the ground. Handled quickly. As Army just trying to go forward again. But UMW has been committed defensively so far today.
From the side.
This one does not get hung up in the wind. It's bobbled. That's going to be a knock-on to end all knock-ons. But Army, I think, has been given the advantage briefly with possession. Now it'll be kicked way downfield, and this one looks like it's going to be over and out. Nope, it'll stay in. Kick back out. As Army will regather once more. Ball has been off the foot and in the air a lot today. Not releasing, so this will be against UMW, and so Army will have a chance here to kick it into touch. No sign of the tee, so it looks like they'll play for position and see if they can get 7 instead of 3. Over the bus it goes. 8 minutes left, opening half. The trenches have been dug and are being filled with water as we speak. The Gators will be here for the second half. Line out kept by Army as they push and push and push. The ball is moving. It's still moving. Everybody goes down like a bunch of pins in the final lane at the alley. And a whistle. What have we here? And it looks like the ball's going back to the Eagles. They might have collapsed them all there. Construction continues for the Mikey Stadium Preservation Project. Mills Road is closed to all vehicular and foot traffic. Expect changes to the fan experience for this season and next season. For more information and updates on the project, visit MikeyStadium.com. So the referee says X marks the spot as both front rows will come together again. Waddington gets ready to put the ball back in. Must wait for the referee's commands. Gets rid of it again. That might have been Heller trying to stop it with his foot. It goes out of bounds. Did he touch it, though? So Army gets a line out just across midfield. They've been very good at lineouts today. It has to be a straight toss. Nicely done, and Army gets back to work. And a knock-on was called. Meanwhile, this one's charged down. Sent forward. And somebody from Mary Washington able to make the stop there at the 20. Otherwise, Army might have been able to steal the bacon and grab the lead back. More kicking, this time by White. It's been a frustrating half for Army, to say the least. They've had some chances. UMW's had chances as well. But I think if you told the Eagles you would have a 1-point lead at halftime, we've got 5 minutes left, they would take that any day of the week. Good tackle there involving Barnfield Lee. Bonnerini tries to drive forward, gets across midfield. And now we've got another whistle. A knock on here. And somebody for UMW is shaken up. Plum helps up his buddy.
Go, Diesel! Here we go, Army!
It was Sidorowicz, and so it'll be a scrum coming up for the Eagles with 4 minutes left here. Check out the official online store of Army West Point. You can browse a complete selection of officially licensed apparel and merchandise by visiting shop.rugbysports.com. Again, shop.rugbysports.com. Here comes White. He's got some good feet, but he's hauled down. Good tackle by Duffy. And we've got a whistle. Not releasing the ball. Army will get it back with just over 3 minutes left in the opening half. And slow to get up is Cale White, who has done a lot of kicking today, and the referee says time off. So somebody will give him a look. Again, during halftime, there'll be a ceremony on the field in memory of Jim Brierly, as his number 8 will be honored. Brierly, class of 67, died in Vietnam in December of 1968. White looks like he's in pain. And it's not just smart, and it's really hurting right now. The 20th class of the Army Sports Hall of Fame will receive induction next Friday. The ceremony will begin at 6 o'clock inside Kinsey Athletic Center with a black tie banquet to follow at Eisenhower Hall. To buy tickets, visit GoArmyWestPoint.com and click on tickets at the top of the homepage.
Got to reload the page. I had to do a new stream. I'm stopping there.
So attention continues with Cale White down on the ground.
Just go back to Army's YouTube channel and find it.
It looks like he'll be okay. Cannot explain enough how difficult this sport can be, how brutal it can be physically. We thank you for bearing with us. We have changed out the hamsters. There's a second new one now. We've also put some more oil into the wheel, and we've got some fresh food for them. So hopefully we can get through halftime. We'll be able to have the ceremony for you down on the field. Army looking for the final say here at the end of the first half. Barnack will toss it back in. Key line out here for both teams. Army looking for points at the end of the first half. Some long fingers securing that, and we've got a whistle. And this one's going against Army. Rarely do you have this many cadets who are confused, but we've got a bunch here.
Next play, boys.
It's been a first half of mistakes, I think, for both teams. It's still early in the season. The physicality has definitely been there. That's not the issue right now. It is 7-6 UMW with 2 minutes left here in the opening half. Howie held it with a couple of penalty kicks for Army early on, and then we think it was Cameron Giwa McNeil that got a try a little bit later, about midway through the first half. Conversion from Sebastian Schefferman. That's been it. So a scrum coming up for the Eagles, who again, I think if you told them he'd have the lead at the break, they would say, absolutely, sign me up. Who do I have to kill? Well, nobody, just work hard. 1 and 2, we'll put it back in. And this one's going against Army. They might have wheeled the scrum there. So UMW will kick it into touch here. I think he's aiming right for me. No, he's going to send it wide. And for the second time in his first half, somebody for the Eagles has run out the glass at Anderson Rugby Complex. Final minutes of the first 40. Sidorowicz, line out at midfield. Lots of jumping going on. But a nice catch is made to preserve possession. Good catch by Fowler there, but he's slow to get up. That's a very athletic big guy out there. That's the beauty of rugby. All kinds of body types, and usually almost everybody has to be able to touch the ball to score. Great behind the back offload. It came to Plum. Plum gets tackled as the last seconds of the first 40 are about to tick off here. Play will continue. Lovely pass brought back over on the far side. A chance here. Peters. Is he in? Yes, he is. UMW with a huge try at the end of the first half. I think that was Ben Peters that got it all the way down there at the end. No, pardon me. It wasn't him. But tremendous play made by UMW. Not sure who got the offload off, but it was a behind-the-back pass nobody find from a slippery point guard in basketball. Now here's the problem for UMW. Because the conversion takes place from a straight line where the ball is dotted down, I think this is Schefferman attempting the kick. May as well be from Fredericksburg, Virginia, where UMW is. It's a big kick because if he makes it, it becomes a two-possession game. Never too early to talk about one possession or two possession. One potato, two potato. This one is up. And he got it. The assistants behind the sticks had to talk about it for a second, but that's a major kick because the margin at halftime is 8. UMW has every reason to feel good about its game right now. They have come in here, they've been physical. Mistakes made by both teams, but the Eagles lead the Black Knights by a score of 14-6. Again, as we mentioned, there'll be a ceremony at halftime honoring Jim Brierly with the number 8 jersey. I'm going to turn off my headset, but we'll keep the crowd mic on for this ceremony. This is Night Vision of the Army West Point Athletics YouTube channel.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're asking the record attention to 50-meter line for the second ceremony, in which we honor a member of the Army Rugby Club in 1967, Lieutenant James Kenneth Brunnery. With this on the field today, we want you to be serving from the class of 1957.
Every game I work, I've got everything, right? It's perfect. Let me put this thing here.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us at Anderson Army Complex for this solemn memorial. James Kenneth Brierly was born in Streator, Illinois on February 2nd, 1945. He died December 12th, 1968 in the Republic of Vietnam. James was the first of 2 sons of Marine Corps Captain Kenneth and Mary Brierly. Jim was proud of his family, and they were very important to him. As the son of a Marine, Jim called many places home in the early years until his family finally settled in Carlsbad, California. Jim made friends easily and immediately became a class leader in student government. He was good at all sports he tried, including surfing and sailing, and many years lettering in football, track, and basketball. He also enjoyed the rigors of academics, graduating high school with a 3.9 grade point average. Jim's entrance to the academy came through his father's service, which allowed Jim to compete for a presidential appointment. Jim's plebe year was pretty much like everyone else's. During the yearling summer at Buckner, his friendliness and inexhaustible energy are well remembered. Proof of this is evident in a picture in the 1967 howitzer, in which everyone in the picture is exhausted, except for the big man with a huge smile leaning over the porch, Jim. His father was always a source of pride to him, and Jim carved USMC into the M14 field stock he was issued for Recondo. The cadre was not impressed. During the summer before cow year, Jim was a squad leader during Beast Barracks. He had a competitive nature and would continually pit his squad against any brave enough to challenge them. Although he hated losing and rarely did, Jim was always gracious in defeat. Jim loved sports, and throughout his 4 years at West Point, participated in football, lacrosse, and rugby, which was just catching on at West Point. Jim was an A-team starter. His play was spirited and ferocious, yet he always seemed to wear a smile. He led the forwards and played number 8, the guy at the back of the triangle of forwards who engages the opponent on restart. There was a trick play in which Jim would fake the release of the ball but control it with his foot so the opposing scrum half was drawn offside. It was good for points once or twice a game. He was a great jumper, and if the team really needed to get the ball in the lineout, it was thrown to Jim. In those days, there was no lifting. The jumper had to propel himself skyward to collect the thrown ball. Jim was relentless, always encouraging his teammates and always in the thick of things. It was the same way in academics. He did well. Initially, he wanted to be a Marine like his father, but later focused on becoming an engineer. He worked hard on his studies and was able to select the Corps of Engineers. There was even rumor he taught others how to study with the radio and not get caught. Jim knew when to be serious and when to have fun. He stepped naturally into leadership roles with his calm, even manner. Jim was someone upon whom he could always rely, and he commanded a great deal of respect from anyone and everyone. A religious man, Jim had the habit of bending his knee and praying beside the bed before retiring at night. It was genuine, and it just seemed like the natural thing for Jim to do. He was handsome and large in stature, but larger in personality and friendship. Big Jim was a multi-talented surfer from California, graduated in the top quintile of his class, was a cadet captain, a member of the choir, the debate team, and various sports teams. He even helped package the howitzer. Ever proud of his father's service in World War II in Korea, Jim took his service to the country very seriously. He wanted to get involved as soon as possible and volunteered to go to Vietnam. After Ranger training and Officer Basic, during which some say he received higher marks in partying than engineering, he went to the 19th Combat Engineer at LZ North English, which was about as far north in the 2 Corps area as one could go in Binh Dinh province. It was a very dangerous area, and the 19th operated in both I Corps and 2 Corps and received very little infantry support on mine sweeps and other activities. Jim's unit pulled minesweep every morning, repaired roads, culverts, and bridges. As throughout his life, Jim maintained his religious beliefs. He considered the possibility of dying, but had faith and was not afraid. On December 12, 1968, Jim had to do a report of survey establishing accountability for property. It required him to travel to a remote location. He had a high sense of duty, and instead of waiting for the regular daily traffic to follow minesweep and ensure safe travel of the road, Jim and his driver proceeded just minutes behind the sweeping activities. A trick of the Viet Cong snipers was to hide while minesweep went through and then pick off the target directly after. Jim died instantly of a single sniper bullet through his heart. His driver, Brave, repeated AK-47 fire and drove fast to get help, but it was over. Jim was laid to rest next to his father and was joined by his mother in 1999. The Pony League baseball field in Carlsbad was named the Lieutenant James K. Brierly Field and rededicated in 2003 by the Carlsbad mayor, who was Jim's high school football coach. This tribute is not about the death of a brother, but instead about the life of an extraordinary young man who had such a positive impact on so many during his 23 years with us. Semper Fi, duty, honor, country, into your arms, Lord, our brother. Inside Anderson Rugby Complex, there now hangs a plaque for the Army Men's Rugby Jersey Legacy Program. The number 8 jersey is the 6th jersey to be permanently endowed as the Jim Brierly number 8 jersey, forever preserving Jim's memory and ensuring that his enduring legacy of selfless service lives on forever as an example for all future generations of Army Ruggers. That indelible mark will now be forever cemented in the number 8 jersey, which from this day to the end of the world will be worn in honor and memory of our brother, Lieutenant Jim Brierly. Let's all rise and give applause to show our love, respect, admiration for a true American hero, Lieutenant Jim Brierly, Army Rugger, class of 1967, United States Military Academy.
Here we go!
During that ceremony, that clock never moved because Jim Brierley was going to get every single second that he deserved. Yet the day could end and it still would not be enough for what he had earned. We are grateful for those who choose this path on our behalf. We are mindful of those who did not make it home. And we honor those who have laid down their lives for their friends. Behind me, it's the Army West Point Men's Rugby Legacy Jersey Legacy Endowment with a plaque that's now under the number 8 jersey. 14-6 is the score. I've been told that Jan Albert got the last try there at the end of the first half for UMW, which has to feel great about its game right now. It is a 2-possession game. That's important to note. Mistakes from both teams, certainly in that first half. A big play, though, at the end by UMW has them up by 8. The Eagles will kick off. What can Army do better in the second half? Probably a lot right now. Each team did have a chance to score that did not make it on the big board. And this one is scribbed out of bounds. Might have been a miss hit. Army West Point Giving Day takes place this year on December 3rd. This one-day giving opportunity allows the Army West Point family to come together and show support for over 1,000 cadet athletes. Everyone involved seeks to generate revenue to provide the necessary resources to recruit, educate, train, and inspire leaders of character committed to all the Army values, all while receiving an extraordinary D1 experience. Save the date, December 3rd, Army West Point Giving Day. And now it's brought back here. It's spilled, though, and it's picked back up by Lundbach. Still has it. Looking to offload. Got it for Batterini. Batterini is in that pile somewhere. Good pass. Some swashbuckling going on down there as Army continues to move, trying to follow that train. Stuck at the 10. Liskey tries to find some space. This is a live ball. There's no fair catch here. Goes through a couple of sets of fingers, and it's picked up by Jan Albert. Brought it back now. It'll be kicked by Waddington. Kit Waddington has quietly had a good game for UMW. Gould. Ball's over one of the Eagles. And he's finally pulled down inside the 10. Batterini as Army, following the halftime ceremony, appears to be playing very inspired right now. The Eagles continue to tackle well. Bardak tries to go forward. Legs were in the air briefly. I think wanting to call was Manning, but none. And we've got a whistle. And the referee says, everybody get out of there. Looks like it's against Army. Yes, the Army West Point men's rugby team uses Facebook. Check it out at West Point Rugby to find photos and videos you won't find anywhere. That's West Point Rugby on Facebook. So a scrum coming up here for the Eagles. If you are able to match the Black Knights' physicality, and handle the ball relatively well, you will have a chance to win. Important scrum as the Eagles hope to have some real possession for the first time here in the second half. Army fans crying for a penalty, but no sale, says the man in pink. I don't think they were wheeling the scrum there. If they were, it was close. Good fake, and bring it back now is Callum Emmons, one of the new players on the field. Ledged off now for Aubert. Aubert tries to go forward. It comes to Moskrup, who gets taken down. Kick nice and high by White. Looking for a target just out of the hands of Peters. If Peters makes the catch, he's free and clear. It's too early to call it the dagger, but that would have been a meaningful try for the Eagles in every sense. So now the dust is cleared, the referee confers with his assistant to make sure that the right team gets the ball back here. I believe it should be Army ball. The question is line out or scrum. It looks like it's going to be a scrum here. Remember, competing as varsity athletes helps cadets learn how to win the battlefield. Athletics instills tenacity, resilience, discipline, mental and physical toughness, and the desire to excel. Grit and perseverance are the same things that put winning platoon leaders and company commanders when cadets graduate. 5 minutes in, latter half. UMW leads Army 14-6. UMW trying to take a major step, knocking off the higher-ranked Army team. Potentially a good run here. Offload is made as Army must hurry up. It's kicked downfield, not sure why. Rotello didn't try to run that, but it goes through the legs of White. Soccer to head. Rotello, can he fall on it? He's hauled down. Is this a penalty try? Is this a penalty try? It might be. He was hauled down from behind, and a card has been given, I believe, to Emmons. It is a penalty try. That means Army gets 7 without having a kick. It is 14-13 with a little over a half hour left. Rotello does not officially get credit. It is a penalty try, though, and the Black Knights are back within 1. As soon as the ball, I think that was White that went through his legs, that was going to be a problem. This game has turned itself not quite upside down, but certainly inside out. It is now 14-13. UMW still up by 1. But Army clearly has the momentum, playing with some inspiration right now. And we've got a whistle, and it looks like somebody came in for the side for UMW. Again, in rugby, there's a front door and a back door. There is no side door. Everybody takes a deep breath here as this game has just had some juice fired into it. The shoe tying is over. It's a booming kick, and Army will be in good position for a line-out coming up in the attacking half. Bardak is ready. And wait a second, we've got some substitutions. The referee says, the doorbell's been rung, I gotta get it. So right now, the Eagles playing a player short. Army trying to make the most of the extra space out there where they've got the ball. Bardak gets it in. Work back now to Bardak by way of Duffy. Good pass now for Kep. Kep gets across the 10. And a whistle, not releasing the ball. Army's been penalized again. Still early in the season, but I think both teams have made more mistakes than their coaches would like here. This one will be kicked to the touch. A lineup coming up for the Eagles. The noise is not quite deafening. But the Army contingent believing something special is about to happen. It does get punched. It's reversed. But because the knockout went backwards, it's still a ball for UMW, and falling was Waddington. Some fresh horses in there now for UMW. Tom Williams among them. Plum drives his way through, approaching at 22. It comes to Hugh McNeil. He's brought down. Shifted again towards the middle of the field as Army on it. And we've got a whistle. This one's against Army. Not sure if somebody went to the ground or somebody came in from the side, but UMW will get a bit of a breather here.
Go, boys!
And somebody is getting some attention in the middle of the field right now. This game has certainly not been short on carnage. So if you follow the Olympics at all this summer, you know that the Army Rugby family, and both programs are close, had reason to celebrate. Former Army women's rugby player Sammy Sullivan was part of the Olympic team that won bronze in Paris. Funny story about Sammy Sullivan. She didn't make the soccer team here, so she wanted to play rugby instead. By the third game, she was in the starting lineup. The 2019 Prismac Award winner, which is basically the Heisman of women's collegiate rugby. Also the first ever Rugby Army Athletic Association Award recipient. She's called Captain Sullivan these days, by the way. Just a remarkable story. You can come from anywhere if you play the sport the right way, and she certainly has. That one is through. Jack Joyce able to get a good leg on that. It's still a one-possession game, but Army must get into the in-goal area again. It is now 17-13 as Joyce buries that one. 17-13. UMW in front. 29 minutes left. Nice and high. It is dropped, but not forward, so Army can still play with it. Offloaded quickly. Army looking like they're trying to pick up the pace here. Heller will try to pick it up. Does get it nice and high. And we've got a whistle. It looks like this one's going against Army. And the referee will bring it back to where the penalty took place. No, pardon me, it's going to be against UMW. For a second, I thought Army had done something wrong again, but this time, no. It's been that kind of a day. This one is boomed, and somebody down in the gallery on the far side makes a nice catch. I'm glad the ball didn't come to me. Years ago, I tossed the ball back in, nearly hit somebody in the head. Good lineup for Army again as they continue to apply the pressure. Whip back now for Kemp. Kemp tries to get forward. Hurling out of the way was Aubert for UMW. Trevor Schweer is trying to spin things up now for Army. It comes to Kemp. Kemp has to be wrestled down by Moskrop. Ball stays with Army. Engels. About 12 away now. Kicked on the ground, it's blocked. Picked right back up by Gould. That was a curious decision. As Army continues to push forward. Again, this is not football. There's no 4th and goal. And this one is going against UMW. Decisions, decisions, decisions. I don't think Heller necessarily wants to kick at the goal, so he's going to kick this in the touch, and Arm will go back to work on the far side. Army West Point hockey will head to Washington ahead of the Army-Navy game at Commander's Field. The Black Knights will play Penn State in the inaugural Capital Hockey Classic on Thursday, December 12th. This doubleheader will begin at 5 o'clock with an Army-Navy club hockey game. Visit CapitalOneArena.com for the latest information. Important line out. Army has done this well today, and they do it again. Can they avoid the bugaboo at the end? The Army coaches are yelling, slow, slow. Take your time, they're saying. And we've got another whistle. This one's going against UMW. Another penalty try for Army. Peter, Paul, and Mary. Army has been given the lead. I think because of excessive calls against the Eagles. A second consecutive penalty try for Army, and they've regained the lead. It is 2017.
Here we go, boys!
One of the mistakes that both teams have made, we'll be lucky if any feet have toes left. They keep shooting themselves there. And right now, Mary Washington just has to take a deep breath. Still a lot to like about the Eagles game right now. They've played well, but they've got to take a deep breath, get back to work. Army, I don't think anyone needs to tell them that they're fortunate to have the lead right now. This one gets away from the hand of Barnfield Lee. It's kicked downfield. Lindy kicks it down again as we're back to playing catch here with the feet. Nice offload as Army will streak back. Coming down they go. Good cutback. They're telling hang on the ball. I think that's Kemp. Comes to Gould. Gould try to sweep it back. It gets loose. And the referee finally blows the whistle and says enough. Knock on. Army fans shouldn't have to work hard to find other Army fans. You can use Facebook to connect with fellow supporters of the Black Knights while keeping up to date with athletic events on post. Check it out at Go Army West Point. Again, Go Army West Point on Facebook. .23 minutes left, maybe. Army, thanks to 2 penalty tries here in the second half, leading UMW 20-17. Scrum coming up for the Eagles. And wait a second, the referee wants to have a conversation with the front rows. In international competition, I remember referee Nigel Owens saying that he would meet with the front rows in the locker rooms before the game to say what he expected so that when everybody came out to the field, he didn't have to say the same thing twice. If you know anything about Nigel Owens, you know that he did not want to have to explain things to you more than once. But boy, that guy is very funny, and he's enjoying his life in retirement now. So the Eagles emerge with it. Down goes Emmons. Another hit. Ball pops loose. Army finds it. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. It's coming back. Was somebody offsides? I didn't see anything unusual. I was looking squarely at the ball in the exchange. But another break for UMW as both teams again. It has not been a clean game, and I think especially here in the second half, sign of an early season game where they might not be as sharp mentally. Physically, they've been great. It has been a very physically demanding day, and it's been a day that's getting warmer and warmer. But now the Eagles will come back with it once more. Shuffled back again. It's dropped. Knock on. As it just slips through the fingers of Lindy. No, wait a second. It's going to be against Army. I thought that was pushed ahead, but the answer is no. And so another chance for the Eagles, and we'll see if they pull out the tee. A penalty kick would tie the game. Joyce looks like he wants to take the shot, and he will. Midway through the second half, it has been entertaining. Hasn't been pretty at times, but it's been entertaining. Army leading UMW 2017. Joyce, who converted a penalty earlier in the second half, has a chance to tie the game and set up a sprint to the finish. So we're approximately 24 meters away, maybe 25, so it's not a gimme by any stretch. No! He just missed it. It was certainly long enough, but that's a huge miss. The flags did not go up. Army dodges a cannonball, remains in front by 3. Visit GarberWestPoint.com and click on the button near the top of the homepage to get your Army football tickets. You can buy tickets to the Army Notre Dame game at Yankee Stadium. Buy group tickets, purchase away game tickets, and request information on premium seating for 2026. In gridiron terms, we started the fourth quarter. It has been a dandy. We do be competitive. As the physical play continues, the shoving continues, the struggle is real. Kick high by Waddington. And a mark is taken. You can do that inside your own 22. But it's got to be a clean catch. If it's bobbled at all, the mark is not necessarily given. So a deep breath for everybody. We've gone from boxing to chess now. It's turned into that kind of a match here. Every move is now being scrutinized greatly. Getting knocked down was Joyce, and the ball, I think, was pushed ahead. So Army will get the ball back here. Looks like advantage was given. Kicking a touch now. And it looks like it'll be brought back. Or will it? No, it looks like it'll be a mark at the 22 for UMW here. I thought advantage was given there because I thought I saw that the ball was knocked ahead. That wasn't the case. And so the Eagles will start over again.
1 meter for the touchline.
Catch is made once more. Army's ball handling has gotten better here in the second. Nice and high. We'll see what Joyce does here. As he'll just walk it off here and hand it off. A big hit. The hitting continues. It'll be kicked now by Aubert. Here comes Gould. Gets across midfield. Continues to go. Nate Gould trying to act like the Energizer Bunny right now for Army. Heller gets rid of it. Kick across field. Nice catch is made. And we've got a whistle. And it looks like they're bringing it all the way back to midfield. The referee saw something. Advantage is similar to delayed penalty in lacrosse and hockey. The referee creates in his mind a system restore point, to borrow a term from a computer, and says, we'll come back here. Well, I can't remember the last time anybody on this field attempted a penalty kick from this distance. It's nearly at midfield. Kieran Murray is going to get out Big Bertha driver and see what he can do. This would put Army in front by 6. "16 minutes left. It's long enough. Is it straight enough? No, it's just wide. Kieran Murray nearly scored from Rockland County. This one will be kicked out of bounds. Hits the railing here at the top of the box here. If Kieran Murray makes that kick, then the needles from the USGS at Indian Point start to twitch. This place would have exploded. This one is dropped, though. Another mistake for Army. Mentioned I said shooting themselves in the foot. They might be running out of toes now. 14 and a half left. Army leads Mary Washington 2017. A change is made. Gabe Savage comes off. I believe that was Charlie Rowland coming in. And so now the pawns are being exchanged for knights and potentially rooks and bishops. Another substitution coming in now for UMW. The Army West Point women's basketball season will begin November 4th at home against Cornell. Mark your calendars. December 13th, night before Army Navy at Commanders Field. The Black Knights will visit Howard in Washington, D.C. Keep checking. Go ArmyWestPoint.com for the latest. Razzle dazzle from the Eagles again. It's kicked, it's blocked. It's picked up again. Army wants an offsides call, doesn't get it. as the Eagles work back together again. They get to the 10. Nikita Joyce offloaded it, and we've got a whistle. It looks like that might have been forward. Another substitution for Army. Mitchell Campbell comes out of the field. So Campbell is in. Dylan Liskey, who did a lot of plumbing and dirty work, he is done for the day. And right now, Army has to find a way to nurse that ball and protect the lead the next 12 minutes. UMW gets the ball back. Sent back on the far side as the Eagles have some speed here. They get towards the 22. Another good tackle. Army does not want to spend the last 11 minutes of this match having to protect a 3-point lead by constantly on defense. This one might have knocked ahead, but it's picked up instead as trying to offload it was Heller. Got it to a man. It's brought back to midfield. Kick nice and high by Gould. Making a catch is Joyce. Gets rid of it. Heller will chase after it. Gould gets knocked down. We've got a whistle. And they'll call him, I think, for rolling with it. When you're taken to the ground, you're supposed to stop right there. You can't stop, drop, and roll. And so UMW will get it back with just over 10 minutes left, down by 3. Good placement, line out forthcoming. Construction will cap Mikey Stadium's capacity at 30,000 until its conclusion. Cadets will temporarily sit in the stadium's north end. It'll sit in the east stands when the project has finished. These stands and its amenities will remain closed for now. For the latest on the project, visit MikeyStadium.com. Lots of noise down there from the spares who are not in the game. Off the hand of Joyce, but it was not forward, so wait a second. It was juggled. Perhaps by Plum. Or was it Waddington? Either way, it goes back to Army and another break for the Black Knights. And the referee, I think, is talking to both front rows here. He knows that this game is not long. The effort has been great, but mistakes aplenty from both sides today. Joseph Manning will put it back in and hope to get it back and take some more time off that clock. Ball got stuck for him, and so he'll be able to wind it back out. Kemp tries to go forward, gets knocked down. And a big run here. A chance for Heller, who's hauled down by Joyce in the last second, but Army has itself in good position. Now can they protect the ball? No mistakes for Army right now. Any points would help. But right now they've got to take care of the ball. Kemp gets around his man. Kemp, does he score? Yes, he does! Benji Kemp. It took a second effort. As Army, the light is at the end of the tunnel. Wait a minute. I'm looking to make sure this isn't coming back. It's been a strange day today. And the points are off the board. Are they saying he did not release the ball and that second effort wasn't supposed to be? No! After discussion with the assistants, the referee says the try stands. But it feels like every scoring play has... They're telling me that there was a double move, but apparently the assistant of the referee decided that it was okay. Every scoring play, every decision from a man in pink has felt like a Nick will let a tightrope act today. But Army gets the try from Benji Kemp and leads 25-17 with a conversion to come, 7.5 left. This is turning into an epic. Heller, first conversion attempt of the day against Army, gifted 2 penalty tries here in the second half. He's 2 for 2 in PKs today. Army up by 10 with under 7 to go. Heller has scored 8 points. Kemp with that try. That makes 13. Plus 14 points on penalty tries. One of them, you could informally credit to TJ Rotello for the great work he did and got hauled down basically from behind when he had the opportunity to dot down. So to bring it back to midfield after the missed kick, you may remember that we had something similar happen to kick off the game. Again, Army just has to focus on possession right now. You're up by 10. You've gotten some breaks, yes, but focus on possession right now. No ball handling errors. Try to be clean the last 5.5 here. At GarveyWestPoint.com, you can click on a button near the top of the homepage that signs up for emails straight from Army West Point Athletics. You can select which types of emails you want to receive. You can also select which sports interest you. Visit GarveyWestPoint.com to get started. Manning puts it in, and the referee blows the whistle right away. And this will be against UMW. That takes more time off the clock here. The window starting to close for UMW, which again has not played poorly. Their hustle has been great. They've been physical. But they've made enough mistakes here in the second half. That one's nice and high. Don't know if they intended for that to happen. Army's going to maintain possession. I don't think the wind hung that one up. It comes out once more, but we have a whistle. And this one's going against the Eagles again. And right now, the Eagles aren't getting any breaks. Come to a football game here. The game day guide will have all the information you need. It includes details on parking and shuttles, as well as a rundown of events leading up to kickoff. Visit ArmyGameDay.com. They've been singing for over an hour. They are tremendous. Right back quickly. It's taken by Rotello. Rotello blinks right, turns left. Good shoestring tackle made by Peters. Murray. Back at Cam again. Army. Just mind the store right now. You don't need to score again necessarily. Just take care of the ball. If you're the Eagles, the window is starting to close. It's almost done. You got to turn to the water boy en masse and get that ball. This one is going against the Eagles, I think, for not rolling away. And it looks like they're calling for the tee. Heller has been great today. Is he the one taking the kick? Nope, it's actually going to be Kieran Murray. Not quite as far away from the previous attempt, but it's definitely a lot straighter here. A score would make it 13, which would mean 2 converted tries with 2 minutes left. And he missed it. Well, the window is closed, but the glass is not bulletproof. Do the Eagles still have time? They must score quickly. They are down by 10. 2 misses for Murray, but I think the degree of difficulty for both were pretty high. 90 seconds left now. Almost blocked. Wanting a call was Joyce. He's not getting it. Wait a second. Referee says, come back here. Looks like he is getting a call. UMW. A flicker of life, but they must score the next 30 seconds, I think. Emmons trying to charge up there. Anderson among those, taking him down. We've reached the last of the 80. Musgrove. .40 seconds left. At least that's what's on the clock. Put now for Lopez. Tries to go forward. Shoestring tackle. 27 is left on the clock. Shift it back. It comes to Emmons. Juggled it. No call. Has his shirt pulled. Gets taken down. 15 seconds left. Bobbled briefly. Shifted now. Lindy. Got it now for Aubert. Lost it. 6 seconds left. The clock has hit 0. Army will escape with a victory. The question is, by how much? Musgrove trying to get one for the road. Able to offload it now for Plum. Down goes White. Continuation. And the referee says he did not release. Is that it? He looks at his watch, looks at the clock, and he's telling the Black Knights, nope, you got one more ball at the pinball machine. Apparently, they're not ready to go home yet. Kick to the touch now. Is that it? No, not yet. Right now, the Black Knights are like the kid in the back seat. Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Trying to drive in there is Nick White for UMW, trying to get that ball away one last time. But Army trying to take care of the ball. Does not want to give UMW a chance to put more points on the board. Again, the margin is 10. I think they're safe. This one's kicked in the touch. Is that it? It is. Wasn't pretty, but Army gets it done. They defeat a very strong Mary Washington team, 27-17. 2 penalty tries for Army in the second half make the difference. The first one, you could understand. The second one, some of the Eagles camp will say, now, wait a minute. Either way, both teams made a series of mistakes in this one, but Army makes fewer and work for the breaks, playing with some inspiration, as certainly the spirit of Jim Brierley was with every single one of them in the second half. It is time for us to go. For Joe Beckerly, I'm Nikolai Busko. This is Night Vision on the Army West Point Athletics YouTube channel. Good night, everybody.